Greetings. I'm Marguerite Rigoglioso of Seven Sisters Mystery School. And today I am working with Mama Cacao. And I wanted to share what is coming through, and I wanted to open to what is coming through a bit more. And also to invite any questions that might be coming through. So, if you are having questions that you would like to ask the Oracle, please post them and I will try to be aware of what's happening in the comment lines. Sometimes it's not always easy to do that when you're on video, but I will take a look. So I wanted to first share some things that have been coming to me from Mama Cacao about love, because as some of you may be aware, the cacao spirit is really about opening the heart chakra. This is a very, very important thing to be doing at this time. As I've been speaking, and as many of you know or have probably heard, we're really in a time where humanity is moving from the third chakra of will and mental thought to the fourth chakra of love. And each chakra integrates the information and the energies from the ones below. So it's not like we're just leaving mental thought and we're leaving will, which is very important. It's part of creativity. But we're integrating that into a new dimensionality, if you will, the dimensionality of love. So the cacao spirit, as you may be aware, is a good tool in this regard. It was called the food of the gods, partly because it opens up both the heart and the consciousness. And when you put those two together, then you're able to get to the place of peace and wise action. And so that was why it was often served in communal settings before any big decisions had to be made and so forth, so that people could get to that wise, calm, clear, loving space and make all decisions accordingly. So one thing I have noticed is that Mama Cacao is helping to train me in the vibration and the awareness of the love, peace, and well-being state, so that I can, as much as possible, replicate that in my regular life. And I can have that sense memory. So I'm going to be describing some of what that sense memory is. And what I invite you to do is just to open to what you are receiving. You might want to close your eyes. You might want to become still. You might want to just receive the energy of what's coming through me from Mama Cacao in this session here. So the message is about love. I'll speak personally. So I have been going through a number of situations where people are in different belief structures, perhaps even different realities about what is happening right now on the planet. And the stress levels are high because we've all gone into the corners that we go into when we feel stress or danger. So because the stress or danger is high, we feel like we're more and more in these corners. And sometimes we're having trouble reaching across, and then accusations start about who's to blame or who's creating further problems in this situation. And I've had this in some instances in my life. So when I was able to get into the love state using Mama Cacao, what I was able to do was just respond to people's communications to me in a different way. And so that meant that I was able to send a very loving, productive email um, handling a situation in a completely different way. There was no reactivity on my part. There were no hooks and triggers and hints of passive aggressive barbs and so forth. And so that allowed me to put forth something that I hope and trust will be productive. And what the Mama Cacao heart state shows me is that even if people don't respond in the ideal way that I would like, that's okay as well. So when I'm moving into this heart open space from the other space, I'm realizing that the other space is a space of great tightness, and it's a space of great fear. So part of what we're doing is we're moving from we're moving from fear to love. And again, if you have questions, post them. I'll see if I'm receiving anything on the video feed, and so that I can get back to you with answers. I don't know how long I'll be on. It might just be briefly today. But this is a transmission about moving from fear to love on the micro levels in our daily life. So when I look from this perspective of expanded open love energy, and I look to my what tends to be my state most of the time, from which I'm operating, the tightness, it ends up creating communications, or I give communications that then create further problems, if you know what I mean. Whereas when you're in this space of opening and well-being, your communications are not going to create those problems. So what is this space of fear? It is the place of defended protectedness, right? Which is where we have gone to and we are acculturated to be in because of the many layers of trauma that we've experienced, okay? The tightness. So Luba is asking how to stay in love when attacked. Okay, so I'm going to go into literally an oracle about that in a minute after I explain a little bit more about this feeling of tightness that we're generally coming from. It's the defended place, the place of needing to protect because we've been so battered and attacked before, or neglected or abused or abandoned or whatever. So what we're trying to do is anything that can relax that, entrain us into the emotion of well-being and love. So for some people, it's breathing, getting calm, going into a meditation until those tightnesses start dissolving and you can connect with spirit and ask for the assistance to come to the place of well-being and to just let all of that fear energy and that defensive energy start going, and then you can get to wisdom. So calling on wisdom is a really good way. Another for people is going out in nature. That will put you into the sense of well-being. It literally will change your physical vibrations, and that allows you to open your heart and get calm and peaceful so that you can make steps from there that are wiser. Another one is using Mama Cacao on an occasional, not an addictive basis, and with always respect for the plant and the ancestors who've brought it to us, the Mayans and so forth, to work with her to do the compare and contrast like I'm doing now, contrasting 3 hours ago or 24 hours ago when I was in a kind of a bad state, and then the now, like, oh, all is actually well, all is actually well. So addressing this question of how to stay in love when attacked, I'm going to just go in now to see if there's further specific information. Again, the more you condition yourself prior to any attack coming, through these means that I was just discussing, to be in the love state, the calm, clear, centered state, the less when a moment of attack happens, you're going to respond from the defended trauma-based space. Okay, so this is a training and this is a process. This is why it's like going to the gym. Going to the gym of love. Do these processes that allow you to be more and more and more in the state of love so you're less hookable when you get attacked by someone. In the moment of attack, taking a breath, because we freeze. Our third chakra explodes, or whatever happens. Taking a breath and breathing deeply, that good 10-second rule is very, very important, because most people will either implode or explode when attacked, depending on what your natural defense mechanism state is. Either one is very uncomfortable. Again, it's about conditioning yourself prior to the attack, because it's more and more challenging to be in the attack mode and be suddenly ninja, like I'm not going to feel attack energy. Of course, that's where the great masters come in, because they are so conditioned to being in that open, calm state that they're less hookable when attacked. So we want to do what they can do. Also, one thing I have been doing, even when I'm feeling in attack, is and whether that attack is coming from an external in the moment, or whether I've suddenly gotten into that attack thinking myself, like I'm being attacked, and then you've got the mental gyrations going on where you're getting the fight. What you can say is, what would love do? What would love do in this moment? What would love do? And a lot of times that can really, really help. So Luba is saying, I'm sheltering my borderline mom and being attracted 95% of the time. And I think that could possibly be a Freudian slip, because you're saying attacked 99% of the time, but attracted is in a way what is happening. We attract a certain kind of energy when we are still wanting and needing to do that self-conditioning, that calisthenic of being the open state. One thing I received the other day is attack, be it verbal or psychic, only can get us going when we are still having the receptor places inside that hook with it's like Velcro. All right? You've got one part of the Velcro. The attack, be it psychic or verbal, is the other part of the Velcro. When they come together, they stick, and then it gets going. So continuing to do the work of self-love through any means necessary. Again, be it working with a therapist, working with a healer, working with your guided meditations, prayer work, working with Mother Cacao, going out in nature, working with the inner parts, voice dialogue work to love the one who is feeling attacked, perceiving themselves to be attacked, or literally getting attacked because there's a younger part or person in there that is so familiar with that kind of attack energy. You want to go immediately to her and go, oh, I love you. Yes, okay, you're feeling badly. That didn't feel good. What happened coming from that other person? Or it doesn't feel good what I am starting to instigate in myself, mental thought-wise, about how I am or may be being attacked in some way. I love you. I love you. I love you. I am here for you. I am here for you. You are not alone. And I really thank my friend Maura McCarley Torkeldsen, who talked me through one episode of this, and she said, who's the one who's feeling so badly right now inside of you? And it was like, oh yeah, it shifted everything. Because a lot of us, we're warriors, right? We're very smart, we're intellectual, we've gotten trained in mental thinking, and start acting on it on that level, right? Meanwhile, there's that little child inside that we're totally forgetting about. And the more we continue with this activity of the mental fighting and chatter, the farther we're getting from this one, and she's getting more and more activated, and we're getting more and more upset. So go right to her. Who is the one who's being attacked? When? How old is she? When did these attacks start? I love you. I'm here. I'm not going to attack you, and I'm not going to abandon you right now by getting into the mental level and the fighting, argumentative energy. Okay, so that's one way of addressing what Luba has been offering. If there are other questions or comments here, please offer them, and I will riff off of that. Meanwhile, I'm just going to go in to see what else is wanting to come through. It is so amazing how there is this plant spirit, this cacao spirit that is available when used wisely and with care to much of the earth plane now. And it is something that I am working with people on, both in groups and personally. I know there are others as well, and I thank my teacher of it, Angela de la Agua, for bringing this gift to me, and Paulo and Gustavo Ish, who brought the gift to her, and the Mayan elders who brought the gift to them, and Cacao Spirit and Mother Earth themselves. These plants are teachers. Trees are teachers. The redwoods are teachers. If you are in a place in the world where there are redwoods, it's recommended that you go out and be with them now. And even without the redwoods, any other grandmother tree also carries this medicine of love. And though particularly I'll speak about the redwoods right now, because when I was in California, I realized after almost 20 years being there that initially I thought it was graduate school that had called me there. And it was hilarious to discover that it was the redwoods who called me there. Grad school was just an excuse for me to get by the redwoods. And over time, in different periods of those 20 years, I would be out in the redwoods. And I discerned and figured this out before I was told, but here's what it was. Whenever I was at the redwoods, I would feel better. And whenever I was in a grieving period of my life, if I went to the redwoods and just sat by them and even spoke out loud to them what was on my heart, or I went under the shelter of one of their open yonis, I would feel better. And what did I find out? From a woman named Hua Anwa, who's from one of the Native American nations in the south of the Bay Area of San Francisco. She said that her people know that redwoods were known to heal matters of the heart, both physical and emotional. So without even being at the redwoods, you can get a photo of it online, and you can tune into them through prayer and meditation. That's another way to start moving into the heart energy. There's also a company that sells redwood elixir oil, and you can look online and get some of that and literally get the redwood energy into your body. I'll see if there's any other information that wants to come through. And once again, I welcome you, if you have questions or comments, to please post them, and I will look into the oracle to see what's happening and what wants to come through for you. But meanwhile, I'm just going to be in the oracle here for another moment, receiving. Anything you can do now to get into the calm, clear, centered space is so very important. We had those few weeks at the beginning where things were much more still. We didn't know what to do. We were stunned, and We were forced to go into silence. Now what's happening for a lot of people is we're going into the activity and the chatter again, now though online, right? While we're still in seclusion. It's really important to every day meditate, just breathing for 20 minutes with closed eyes, getting to that calm, clear, centered space every day, every day. Luba had asked, what can I do when I'm attacked? Just that simple fact is like money in the bank that will stand you in good stead all day in case a negative energy does come toward you, either from someone else or starts getting generated within you, especially as you're thinking about the situation or investigating what might be happening, hearing numbers and so forth and so on. It's buffer money in the bank. Meditation, calm, clear-centered space meditation, just simple, whether you're going outside or you're not going outside. And let's see if there are any other messages that want to come again from this heart space today to assist. Breath and connecting with your spirit guides. So in addition to the meditation, prayer. The prayer now to guides you know, any other highest level guides of love, light, and wisdom that you may not know, who may be with you or who may want to come in to be working with you now, and your highest level ancestors, calling on them for support at this time. We all need reinforcements. We need nurturing. We need support and help. And working with the unseen realms is very, very important right now. They are a resource at every day and every minute of the day. So again, if you are feeling attacked, to return to Luba's question, you can say in the moment, what would love do? And you can also say, guides, Mother Mary, Redwoods, whoever it is that you're working with, ancestor, Grandma Jenny, whoever, please help me in this moment now. Okay? And these are all ways we're training ourselves to open the conduits between the other dimension and this dimension so that that positive energy can flow much more easily into our heart. And finally, just paying attention to your heart chakra on a daily basis, putting your heart there, your hand there on your heart. Asking, if you connect with Mother Mary or Christed Master, asking for them to give you an upgrade, for their sacred heart to come into yours. Beaming and radiating that love throughout your whole being from your heart in the form of rose light with gold in it. And beaming that out as an activity. If you would like to become useful, you can beam out that energy from your heart. And I like the right hand, left hand on the heart, right hand on the navel, and you can be circulating your hand on the navel, which is the dantian, the lower dantian point. So what you're doing is you're sending love to your animal body and your human self and your third chakra, which is needing a lot of love, healing, and attention, because our umbilical cords being cut often creates a leak, an energy leak there, so you want to close that up by circulating your hand, and then the other hand on your heart, telling yourself that you love yourself every day. These are all very good practices that can be added to your toolkit to help us use this time to its maximum benefit. And may this have been useful for you today. Blessed be, and goodbye for now.